Well, good morning, Southeast. This YouTube project is something I've been thinking about for a while, and I hope it's more than just a project. I hope it is something that actually proves to be helpful to the life of the church. I've been thinking about it for a while. This morning it just kind of clicked in terms of a theme. And we are a scattered people. We come together on Sundays and we're together, and then from Sundays we go out and we go our different places. We have our different work to do, our different responsibilities, and we're scattered during the week. And we get together a little bit, maybe the Tuesday night Bible study, maybe coming back on Friday nights, but pretty scattered through the week. And that's not a bad thing, that's just kind of how it is. And then I also think that we're even scattered beyond that. I think of how many people have come through Southeast, how many people have been part of the life of Southeast, and yet today they're scattered someplace across California, across the U.S., even across the world. And so we are very scattered in that way, and rarely are we able to come together. And then I also think just in terms of our personal lives and how scattered we are, how often it seems we need to be at so many places at one time, so many different projects going on that it's hard to even focus on one project because our minds are so scattered with everything that needs to be done. And so the theme for these YouTube devotionals is a word for the scattered. And hopefully that in the midst of our scatteredness we'll find some grounding and some unity through the Word. And I've started in the Gospel of John, my devotions, that's where I'm at. And so I'd like to go ahead and read the first couple of verses, 3-4 verses of the Gospel of John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Especially those first couple of verses where Jesus is the Word, and the Word was with God in the beginning. Jesus was with God in the beginning. Jesus is without beginning. There was his birth, his incarnation, but Jesus, the Son of God, was with God in the beginning. And all things were made through him. And apart from him, there's nothing. And so to begin to think about that idea that Jesus, the Father, through the Spirit, the maker of all things, and that apart from him, nothing exists. When we make something, there's usually intention behind the making. That if we make something, there's purpose there. That really, there's not just accident. I know sometimes we may end up, making something a little bit unintentional, but by and large, if we are going to make something, then we've set out to do something, and that there's purpose involved in it. And so to begin to think about that Jesus, our Maker, God, our Maker, made us with purpose. That we're not just accidents, that we're not just here randomly, that we're not just kind of happen chance, but that we were made and made on purpose. And we can get so scattered and so many things going on, and it can all of a sudden begin to feel like that there's no purpose, and perhaps even that there's no maker. And so just want to remind myself, that in the midst of the scatteredness, we have a maker. And that's Jesus. That all things were made through him. And that he is there in the beginning. And of course, he will be there in the end, and he holds us together through and through. So, kind of calm yourself in the midst of the scatteredness with this good news that we have a Maker who is at work on purpose in our lives. And his purpose is that we would know him, that we would reflect his goodness and his love and His righteousness, and that we would walk with Him through all the different places we find ourselves scattered. And so the Lord be with you today. The Lord hold you steady in the midst of the scatterness, and the Lord remind you that He has made you on purpose, with purpose. Have a great day, and I hope to see you Sunday.